Huge cheers from the crowd yet again. And in the bottom right, we have the red Zerg representing IM. This is, of course, ByuL.
Such a player who's been around for a really long time in StarCraft 2, you know, playing, messing around in StarCraft 1 as well, getting his start on Fnatic. He's up against this player, Chance, the player that Gerard did give opportunities to play, and he did perform well. You know, Calder and I were always saying, why not put this guy out earlier? Why not test him earlier? And when he did play, he came through.
Yeah, and that's why I'm sure Gerard is putting him out here again in the 4th set for today.
Well, I want to mention this again briefly because we have most likely a gateway expand here from Chance coming down. I'm going to call him that accidentally for quite some time before I remember that his ID is Remember.
Before you remember about Remember.
But before we get into this game, I want to mention again that for the whole season, what I want people to do when they tweet about this is to hashtag SPL and spread the word, tweet about this. There's going to be a lot of things going on Twitter in the future. Might even be some giveaways and things of that nature. So you guys can follow SC2 Proleague on Twitter. Follow them on Twitch as well. You can follow Brendan on Twitter. Brendan just recently getting into Twitter. He's still learning, but he's getting a lot better at it. He's Brendan Valdez. And, of course, myself at Proxy Wolf. Do that, tweet at us, and tweet at SC2 Proleague. And make sure that you always hashtag SPL, because I really want this to grow a lot on Twitter. This is one of the most prestigious esports events in the world, and more people need to know about it.
Yeah, I mean, even if you brought someone who's not really into esports or doesn't even really play games to even just watch the sets we've had today, like, it's been just so exciting in one day. You have to think about all of the Pro League and all the games that we're going to have in the future. You just got to get more people into this game. You have to spread the word. It's all about spreading the word, actually.
Yeah. You know, get it out there. Let people know why it's important. So we do have pool after hatch here for ByuL, and Remember does go for that cybernetics core actually. So he's gonna be doing the safer version of the gateway expand and also the more aggressive version, because he has warp gate research up so much faster with this, and it can really make ByuL have a terrible time if he takes his third base too greedily and doesn't prepare for a potential timing attack.
Yeah, and I'm not very surprised to see this. I Remember, you know, just playing very, very safe. He is up 1 game for his team. Prime is up 2-1 over IM, and just play a very, very safe game, or potentially, you know, knock some thoughts into your opponent. Say, hey, I have work gate research up. You have to be careful, or at least I'm going to get it faster than I normally would with this build. And I'm sure ByuL coming in here and seeing this, he is going to at least expect something or prepare for, you know, the expansion that he does see coming up right now.
Yeah. ByuL is a player who will oftentimes, he's really similar to Lenok in the way that sometimes when he sees a build like this, he's not scared to make 20s earlings, to just say, all right, there's no way. I'm shutting any pylon down that you think you're going to make. As you can see, he's already putting his earlings around the map to look for this. Saying, all right, anything you want to try, you want to do anything funny, I'm watching you, and I'm going to have 20 lings. That's 10 larvae I just spent, but it's going to be worth it because you are not catching me off guard. No way.
He hasn't quite made those Zerglings yet, but he is sending them all over the map, getting tons of scouting information here. Sending in the Zerglings now, probably going to get taken out by the Sentry. Yes, it does. Not getting much information besides the fact that the expansion is about to go up.
Sees the Nexus timing, knows that it's core before Nexus. Also, his Overlord is able to confirm that earlier. This Overlord wants to take one last look to see if it's a Stargate before it does get picked off by the Sentry, and actually sees that it's triple gates. And this is the moment where ByuL has to make a choice. Does he try to get his Roach Warren up, or is he going to rely only on Zerglings? Doesn't want to. I was just going to say, doesn't want to push it out too early, but he's going to have to make that choice soon.
Yeah, that is a choice coming up in the future for ByuL. Starting 10 Zerglings, just being safe, getting some presence on the map, reducing as much scouting information.
And just, he wants to shut down pylons. He wants to make sure there's no forward pylon that he doesn't know about that that Remember could actually use against him here. He's got the watchtower over on the left side. Sends his Zerglings all through the dark parts of the left side on this beautiful ice tile we have on our Sejong research facility.
Yeah, and I, as a coach, if I were a coach, this would be the player that I would love to send out. A guy that sends his Zerglings literally everywhere on the map, making a bunch just to be safe, starting the Roach Warren, even getting that speed is about to finish. Gonna come up here at the front, try to see what he can see maybe if a third base is going up just yet. Doesn't see anything quite yet. Starts his own third.
Twilight Council comes down for Remember, and that is interesting because he didn't attack. He didn't commit, and this is something that really hurts ByuL in a way because he made so many Zerglings. Probably not going to really make any Roaches because he knows that the attack is over, but look at the probe count. Better for Remember. And with this, we could maybe see a blink timing. I don't think we will, but it's absolutely a possibility.
Yeah, it's on the table. It is something that ByuL has to be careful about. He did not see the Twilight Council as far as I know, just yet. He does have that hallucinated Oracle just coming in here for some scouting.
Yeah, I really want to see the production tab. Like, they're keeping it hidden from me intentionally just so I don't know if Blink is on the way or if there's a Dark Shrine. There it is, just as I thought. Because he knows, okay, this is a very scary build as a Zerg player to face because you see the 4 gateways, you can't not make units, because if you don't make units and he attacks you with 4 gateways, you might die. So he makes units, and then in the next phase where you realize, oh, he faked me out while you're droning, that's when the scary part happens, where he actually starts Blink, adds the gateways, and hits you with this really fast timing that it's hard to hold because your economy is not where it's supposed to be at this part of the game, and there's no investment for Remember on this timing, because for him, the gateways he added, yeah, that's 450 minerals on those 3 gateways he added earlier, but he didn't actually make any units with them. So they're still there, and they're still useful for making more Stalkers later with even more gateways coming out, up to 7.
Yeah, that is 7 gateways now on the map. He is going to get this Overseer in here and scout that, actually. Unless it does get denied by these Stalkers, but he's not going to the Overseer. The Overseer is just going to get a bunch of information here.
Well, seeing the Stalkers alone, he knows what's up. Yeah. And what he also has is Burrow Research. It's nearly completed, and with Burrow Research completed without any detection, it's going to be virtually impossible to end the game here. For Remember, he can do a lot of damage on the other hand. He has to. In fact, he must.
Yeah. That's very key. He has to do damage in order for this to pay off for him. He is closing off that hole at the front, as the Observer does point out there. Getting all of his units grouped in here, starting a pylon forward.
Yep, forward pylon here. And the Zerglings actually find that. He could actually try to get it down.
He could actually just get it for free right now.
And I think he will.
Yeah,
nothing to do to stop him. Oh, in any second that Remember spends walking back to try to deter the Zerglings off of his pylon is time bought. Burrow is done. There are so many Roaches out. And I think, honestly, I'm no scientist, but if I remember right now, I think I might poke a little bit and start a Robo and try to go back to something else, because that Hydralisk Den is the perfect symbol of confidence for ByuL right now. He's like, I've already held the beginning part of this. And he set a trap for him with all of his units burrowed on top of the rocks.
Look at this. And Remember does not have any detection for this.
Uh-oh.
Will he have any idea that ByuL has Burrow right now?
I don't think
he
he
going to push
knows.
off the ramp?
The Roachborn is in danger, but he wants to make Hydras anyways. He's going in, he targets the Roachborn down. He's got to be feeling pretty happy about that. The Zlings come from behind.
And he's not unburrowing at all.
He's waiting. He wants to wait until the Stalkers are all the way on top of that so he can get the best possible surface area. But the Stalkers are getting their damage done. There's the unburrow on top of the Stalkers. Double time warp goes down. Decent force fields here, but there are Hydras on the way.
Hydras on the way. He burrows again, going to regen that health. And now he's got to be in a sticky situation right now for Remember.
Oh, yeah, he definitely is. The other thing is, once the Hydras are out, he can just unburrow again. Zergling's catching those reinforcements as well. And if he never unburrows, then those units can never actually kill. But he is whittling away at that hatchery's hit points. He could always blink into the main base. He's got the potential. And then he can force field. There's no burrow movement.
There's no burrow movement yet. He could actually blink into the main. That is a big point. Putting out the force fields again. He does unburrow. That is a lot of units. A time warp going down, but so many units coming out of ByuL. I think he's going to hold off this attack even with the blink.
Hydra's coming through. It's just way too much. Zergling's running down the ramp. The Hydras kill the mothership core. Beautiful Stalker micro here by Remember, but it just does not matter. And ByuL says, remember me. Remember Burrow. Do not forget. And Remember has to walk home with his Stalkers tucked behind his legs. That analogy fell apart like this strategy for Remember that we just saw here. One Stalker falls, and I think he's going to have to type out here. There's no transition point. What can he hope to accomplish against a Zerg player who has this much tech against him?
He is nothing. He's starting a Robo now. He's trying whatever he can do. He's going to try to hold on, but I don't think it's going to be enough. I think this is going to go to an ace patch.
I think so. Had he known those units were burrowed, had he known the amount of units that ByuL had, he would have never committed to this. He would have tried to transition earlier. Still would have been tough, but better than going on a suicide mission against that many burrowed units. And I really, 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 really respect the patience of ByuL there. He waited until the last second. Using Burrow like we don't really see all too often in competitive play.
Yeah, that's a great point there. You don't see that kind of strategy coming out very often, but he did it perfectly, waiting, even letting his Roach Warren going down. He knew that he had the Hydras coming out as well. He was like, okay, I'm going to wait until you get up the ramp, and then I'm going to reveal. And he did so much damage, he re-burrowed, even let his hatchery take a bunch of damage first before attacking again, and then able to take that away. Here he is denying the third base with that burrowed Zergling over there. He's going to try to get that Observer out to try to start that third, but just looking at the supply and the tech advantage right now, it's just too much. Yep. He didn't even have a Forge. He has no upgrades.
I mean, the Zerg player, ByuL, did take a little bit of a hit. He had to make a lot of units. His economy is not where he would like it to be, but he doesn't have to kill his opponent here. He can just bait out the force fields, continue to poke while he takes a fourth base. He's got Hydraless speed on the way. He does not want to actually get himself caught here. He gives away a lot of Zerglings for free, and this Roach army is relatively small now, all things considered. He's got to be careful not to toss this game away, at least not his advantage.
He is doing a good job, though, keeping this third away, bringing the units over to the left side, whereas taking over the area of the third base, or where it would be for Remember.
Oh, that's so unfortunate. That cannon is what he needed for detection to eliminate that Zergling. That's the reason why he doesn't have a third base right now. I think he even skipped Observers because he knew that he needed to get those Immortals out to survive, even. Not even just to move into some mid-game position, but he's hanging on a thread right now.
Yeah.
There's the Observer, and now he can finally take that third base.
Finally, and I think that's the only thing he really can do, try to take this later. I mean, even just now, ByuL having a really sizable army, he is going to pick off this Warp Prism, or almost gets it. That Hydra's chasing.
Hydra speed! No! Oh. So close there.
Warp Prism getting away.
Hydra speed, Warp Prism acceleration buff. Always trying for it, and he is going to get a few Zealots in here. Look at that one Hydra, he's ready.
Oh, his buddy. They do pick off that Warp Prism, so that's going to be about it for that aggression.
But this is still a strong attack. Maxed out Zerg army. It's all about positioning here.
Yeah, and coupling around, he's probably going to surround. He has so many units right now. Roach Force in the beginning. He's going to have he has to have really good force fields here.
They have to be better than perfect. So far, they're pretty close. This hatchery will fall for free. He actually gets the hatchery. No Mothership Core for recall, though. Don't forget. But this is not a comfortable position by any means for ByuL. He still has this very difficult army to contend with right now. And with all those sentries still alive, so many force fields are still available.
He did use about 6 there, I think, if I'm correct, in that fight. But he still has a bunch of energy now, trying to bail out some force fields as ByuL does a bit, but gets some of his roaches caught there. Gonna have to back off, not committing just yet.
It's just this army loses its relevancy as the game goes on. It's an army that's supposed to fight roaches purely, not roaches with Hydraless support, and almost Hydraless with roaches support. At this point, with all the Hydras he has, gateway units are just not built to handle this. Just ask Huck. Here we go. Concave on all of these units. Guardian Shield goes up, but it's just too much ByuL and not enough Remember.
There's not enough to remember for Remember. So many Hydras, not enough force fields, just rolling over this Protoss army. Look at that supply burrowing, coming back up as a celebration.
Yeah, and he can even dance the Hydras if he wants to right now. A good attempt by Remember here, but we are going to go to our very first ace match here. GG! This is a beautiful symbol of how awesome this type of league could be in Korea, where you have this back and forth dynamic, and we